Happy Ramadan, everyone. Look who I'm with tonight. Do you guys remember Joanne from my day 2 Ramadan vlog? I met her handing out Qurans at the mosque.
You are Muslim or not?
No. She was so intrigued. She tried on a hijab and had iftar. Now we're meeting up for dinner to break fast and discuss more about God and our purpose in life. We found this cute shabu shabu place which looks really good. They didn't speak English, so luckily Joanne, being Taiwanese, she could help us order. And we were actually running a little late, so iftar came before our food arrived, so we just broke fast with water.
It's time to break fast. Time to break.
And then the food finally came. It looks so good. It comes with all these different ingredients which we could choose to put in our soup. It smells delicious. A little fun fact about me, I love instant noodles. I could literally live on these forever. So I basically just paid 10 times the price for fancy packet 2-minute noodles. Anyways.
Bismillah.
That's so cute. What did you think of Islam before you start learning?
I don't know too much.
A bit like me, I was the same. I didn't even hear the word Islam before I start researching.
And from how we educated, it's all about like rules, doctrines, but never told what's the meaning or the purposes behind those doctrines.
What your parents believe, you should believe.
Normally, yeah.
Normally?
But Islam is a really new topic for me.
Do you think this universe has a creator, or do you think it's a coincidence?
Before, I would say it's all about scientific, like the Big Bang that I learned. So last week, the conversation we had outside for, I don't know, 2 hours?
Yeah.
2 hours, it was like totally redefine my, like my brain.
Yeah. You know the Big Bang is in the Quran, right? Did you know this? Yeah. Oh. So science is just God's laws of how the universe works. Science and religion actually complement each other. When you think about it, you look at the universe, how perfect everything is and everything functioning. Is it really possible that there isn't a creator? We don't have to call it God right now. Let's just call it the creator.
I started to think about that after last week.
Yeah. So much evidence to say there is one. Like even this food we're eating right now, could it possibly be that this came without a chef? Even though we haven't seen the chef, could you say there's no chef that made this and prepared this for us? It's just too perfect. Even when I asked ChatGPT, it says it's basically impossible. Just like an artwork, like what we said at the mosque, the Mona Lisa. We are the breathing, living Mona Lisa. We are so much more valuable than a simple painting. How could you possibly say we don't have a designer, but the Mona Lisa has a designer? If there's an art, there must be an artist. We didn't create our body. All these intricate details and all these intricate things going on inside our body is showing that we have a designer. We have a creator. We have somebody that has decided how our body works. It's too perfect. It's too amazing. It's impossible that all of this is just a coincidence. So logically, it's more likely that there is a creator. Who's the controller of the human body? Really though, like who controls our bodies? What can you actually do in life? What is your power? Right now, you're breathing. Are you controlling your breath? Are you controlling your heartbeat? Your heart could stop. Can you control that? No, you're not the boss of your heart. Are you the boss of your stomach? Okay, you're putting the food in your mouth, but then after you put it in your mouth, what happens? Are you controlling how it digests? Are you controlling that? When a woman's pregnant and she has the baby, is she controlling the baby getting born? Is she controlling when the milk comes into her breasts for the baby? Is she controlling any of this? No. We have absolutely no control in what happens. The only power we have is our power of choice. We could choose to walk home, but a bus would come and hit us. Our heart stops beating. We have a heart attack now. We die. We have absolutely no control over our lives. Sometimes things don't happen the way you want them to happen. And everything happens for a reason. So we have to understand that there is a higher power controlling all this. Our power of choice is so minute. And what we do with our power of choice is so important. Even a leaf can't fall without God's permission. He's the controller of everything. That day we met, like who would have ever thought that we would meet each other? Like it's just crazy to think. And it's meant to be. Like everything happens for a reason. I'm in Taiwan just because God wanted you to come closer to him. Maybe all of this reason for me being here is for you. We had no intentions of being in Taiwan. Absolutely no intentions. It was just a stopover. Everything, the whole day changed. Like, I was not expecting to even stay at the mosque that long. I was not expecting to hand out Qurans. That day, everything just happened, like, naturally for us to come together. It's just insane. This soup is so good. Is this a Taiwanese thing, or have they taken it from the Koreans or Japanese?
It's a really good question. I've never saw it.
I always ask questions. I need to know everything. I fact check everything. God is instilled that curiosity inside us as well to think. If he didn't want us to do that, he would have created us like the animals. He's created us with this brain to be able to think and ask questions and figure out our purpose in life. So why else would we be here? Like, other than that, what do you think our purpose is in life? Thank you. When you think about it, the only guaranteed thing in life is death. It's the only thing that's going to happen for sure.
Yeah.
I know people don't like talking about death, but it's the only thing guaranteed in life. So we got to think, why are we here? It's such a serious topic. It's the most important topic in the whole entire world. Everything else is secondary. Whether you're good at your job, whether you're making money, whether you're looking after your family, all of that's irrelevant if you don't know what your purpose in life is. You know, we have no guarantee that we're even going to wake up tomorrow. When you go to sleep at night and close your eyes, do you have any contract to say that you're going to wake up tomorrow? No. We need to act now. We need to understand that this is a really, really serious thing. You blink and it's gone. We just got real serious just all of a sudden. Oh, this is so good. This sauce is so good. Do you have any questions?
Oh, there's actually one, but it's about over what we worship the animals, animal gods, and
like, God is beyond our imagination, so we can't actually comprehend what God is. If you think of an image of God right now in your brain, that's not God, because our imagination is creation. Does that make sense? So anything you can imagine cannot possibly be God, because your imagination is creation, and the creator cannot be a part of creation.
Yeah.
So we actually can't imagine what God looks like. The inventor of the light bulb doesn't look like a light bulb.
You gave the examples that are really logical.
Yeah, do you understand? So some of these religions, like putting these idols and putting these images on God, they're trying to understand God. But at the end of the day, we will never fully be able to understand or comprehend what God looks like, because he is our creator. For God to be God, he needs to be beyond his creation. Yeah, it's interesting, right?
I'm trying to comprehend everything.
Yeah, but all religions are so similar. Every religion I've studied is so similar. Like the roots, if you actually look at the fundamentals of every religion, they're so similar. They've gotten lost in translation sometimes. Have you ever played the game Chinese Whispers?
No, what is that?
It's like when children, like 10 children will be in a line, and the first person says to the second person, like, I love you. And the next person says, oh, I love you too. And then eventually on the 10th person, the message is completely different.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, some religions have been lost in translation. The good thing about the Quran is it's not one single word has been changed since it was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. It's been preserved 100% through oral transmission and also through the writing. So the Quran, they got manuscripts from the time of the Prophet, 1400 years ago. In Turkey, it's called the Topkapi manuscript. There's one in Yemen called the Sana manuscript, and there's one in the Birmingham University as well. And they are identical. And they've carbon dated these manuscripts back to the Prophet.
Wow.
So it's scientifically confirmed that these manuscripts were around and written at the time of the Prophet. I did a study on this. So the Quran is the only book that is unchanged. Actually asked ChatGPT this, and ChatGPT said that the most preserved book in the whole entire world, not just religious, but every single book in the world, the Quran is the most preserved book ever.
It is.
In the whole world.
Wow.
Then I asked ChatGPT, is it possible that a man wrote the Quran? And she's like, it's literally impossible that a man who is illiterate write the Quran. And mind you, the Quran was revealed over 23 years. And the way it was revealed, it wasn't in order. So he said, okay, this verse is here, this verse is here, this verse is here. An illiterate person who couldn't read, couldn't write over 23 years, not in order, with all these scientific miracles, all these linguistic miracles, ChatGPT said it was absolutely impossible that a man could have written this. It has to be the word of God.
That's amazing.
It's pretty incredible. If you get into the Quran, it's so interesting. There is hundreds of miracles in the Quran, scientific miracles. It talks about the embryo, like how the embryo was formed in the mother's womb, like there's 3 different stages, the trimesters, how our earth is in orbit around the sun. Back in these times, we used to think everything orbited around the earth, whereas the Quran actually says that the earth orbits around the sun. It says that the moon is just a reflection. It says the sun is the source of light and the moon is a reflection. They didn't know this until maybe the 20th century, that the moon doesn't have its own light. It's just a reflection. Or like we said before, the Big Bang is in the Quran, the universe expanding. So there is so many scientific miracles. We just said Bismillah and all this came out.
Yeah.
You want some more?
I'm so full. I ate way too much. Do you have any questions? No? How do you feel? Like, do you believe there is a creator?
After all the conversations that we had, yeah.
You believe?
Yeah. You guys gave a lot of examples, which really made me, like, it's activating my brain to start thinking about
That's exactly what you have to do. All about thinking for yourself. Like, you can't just blindly believe something. You have to go, okay, I've researched, I understand, and I acknowledge, and I believe this is the truth. Like, it's not about blind faith at all. You have to understand it for yourself and go, okay, I believe there is a creator. That's step 1. And then step 2 is to believe that what does God want from us and how did God communicate with us? So then you have to understand and acknowledge that God sent prophets and messengers to tell us how to live our life and to be the perfect examples for us to follow. So it's very similar, like Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Moses, if you know the Christian prophets. And then also even like Buddhism, like Buddha could have been a prophet that God has sent for the people to go, hey, this is how you're meant to live your life. So that's very similar. So do you believe that God would have sent people like this to show us how to live our life? How else would God communicate with us?
Must be have some.
Yeah, like how else could he possibly tell us that this is how you're meant to live and this is what you're meant to do, and like to help guide us to the truth? Because that's what a teacher does, right? We have teachers to teach us how to do things. So why would our creator not do the same for us? So you believe there's creator, and then the next step is to believe that these prophets came to teach us how to live our lives. Do you think that's the logical way? Like, do you believe that's possibly how really God logical. Would? Yeah, it's very logical, right? Well, then you're basically a Muslim. Like, do you know what Muslim means?
What's that really mean?
Muslim just means, like, Muslim itself, the word, you acknowledge God and you submit to him. Even Christians are Muslim. The people who follow Moses were Muslims. Everyone who follows and believes in one God is a Muslim.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're so close.
It is very logical. It is. So, sometimes what you said is hard for me to understand, but at the same time, she gave a lot of examples. Like, it's related to my daily life, and it makes all the thoughts. The
uncertainty.
More uncertainty. Yeah. Uncertainty. More clear. There's so much to be discussed.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, we don't know if we're going to live tomorrow. So sometimes it's important. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything to understand that, hey, like, I do believe this. Like, I'm going to keep studying and I'm going to keep learning, but like, I accept, like, and I agree that this is the right way and I'm going to look more into it. It's all about your intentions and what's inside you and trying your best and step by step. Like we were talking at the mosque with the girls.
Yeah.
Step by step and in sincerity about everything inside you and trying to do your best. You don't want to die without accepting the truth, because then, like, this is the test. This is the whole test. So sometimes you just got to take that leap. Nothing has to change straight away. It's not like, oh, my whole life has to change. No, it's just accepting that you acknowledge that this is the truth and you're going to try your best to continue to seek more truth.
We talk some more and you will not believe what happens next. It was so emotional.
I bear witness. There is no God.
There is no God.
But Allah. Allah and Muhammad is his messenger.
He is his.
I actually can't believe it. I'm so glad that I got to be a part of this journey with Joanne. She told me she's still on her journey and she's going to continue to learn more about Islam. After dinner, we decided to get bubble tea to celebrate. Then we wandered the streets for a little bit until we got tired and it was time to go home.
We had a really nice night, and maybe in the future we'll make it official with the imam. Okay. Like yourself.